drive by.
Are we going the other route?
From my snow blower.
Mm.
Just go as far as I can.
Everything
all.
Terry Royce.
See, they're gonna start shit. Stirring up trouble.
Is that an
I don't know.
I don't know. I have no way of contacting.
We can go out there maybe.
Stir trouble.
I don't know.
Not here.
I feel that, and I think it's asking.
All right.
me, he said-
I'll talk to you later.
Hold my transportation.
Mhm.
Did you want me?
Yes, I did, just for 5 seconds.
You did.
Well,
This is a big deal.
Can I send you?
I started out with 25 is what it told me.
Mm.
Yeah, they're gonna mail it.
So
I can't remember, was it
maybe a
190?
little bit less.
No, 190 something.
191?
Some trailer.
I'm dyslexic.
No, just.
Just
yes.
remember Teresa.
Do you wanna just give it to me?
Yes.
Is he going the other direction?
So just write a man.
Done for a while?
He's moving south.
Just bring it up.
Do you want me to put it on your desk?
He's
Talk
got
about that. Somebody were waiting.
Was it Robert?
down there. and
It's
over
been-
there.
It's Robert Decker.
Then we should just put it in new business.
That's what I did,
Put that on.
I did.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay,
30-10.
Mhm.
I added it to mine too, Doug.
Okay, I'm gonna add it right now.
But I put, it's Robert,
Yep,
Robert.
okay.
4 or 5.
And then
Mhm.
the other you said won't be till January,
Yeah,
because we're gonna get a resignation.
yeah, think about that.
Somebody.
Yeah.
This is filling a vacancy, correct?
Yeah, and the next one will too.
Okay, because then we will have another vacancy.
Yep.
David, do you have David Wells' number anywhere?
I'm sure we have it. I probably have it on one of my agendas because I think I wrote it one of the times that
Okay,
he gave the numbers.
if you can get that to me,
Yeah,
because
I'll
we're
look in,
gonna,
I'll look tomorrow and see if I have it.
we're gonna try to do a meeting on the 20th. For, that one,
Funny.
I just gotta read, Sarah sent me a couple of things to go over.
I know.
You didn't even wear your picture. I'm gonna be
I'm
picture.
sorry, it's like, how are you, David?
Don't worry, it's all right, you know,
I'm cool.
My tracking, because, you know.
Getting up 5:30 in the morning,
getting
working
up there,
days.
I remember half the things. I got it. Well, I got it this
There
morning. On my hands, we had somebody.
Take some down, which we went home to.
I'm not used to that either.
You can be kicked
Oh,
out.
you got the wall getting fixed, right?
No, they just take care of themselves. This was
Oh.
something else.
Oh,
Oh, my God, right. 851-2555.
I just remembered he had sent a email and I wondered if it was his number.
What's his email too, Doug?
How you doing?
Good.
That
Good.
one, I will-
Can you forward it to me?
Okay.
Okay.
Next one is about pop up. No hands.
Did you understand what I was trying to tell you today?
Yeah, we figured it out.
Okay.
We
Because
already
I
have,
dropped it off.
we already have,
Yeah, you already, yeah, she says, we already taken care of it. I
Yeah.
said, okay, I don't know why.
what, the reason I wasn't there was because I was taking care of it at that time, over at the county.
We're still working, we're just gonna-
Oh, okay.
The big thing was that we didn't have the,
Everybody's getting,
updated procedures. So what we're doing is we're taking the county's procedures and doing pen and name changes as we go forward.
Okay. Yeah, because I, for the life of me, I couldn't remember. Are we going by that clock? Or are we going by my clock? Because I only got one more minute, we can start.
Fun every day.
Can I start it now?
Hold your breath there.
Might come out of the water.
Good. For the 4th before on Thursday.
Oh, good.
That's good.
It is.
People should be like that.
I'm ready for it. That's a real. I'm ready for it. to be
My
done.
office clock stopped the
Yeah.
other day at 11:40. I never knew it until about 2. I thought, boy, this day's taking forever.
And the clock's on.
It would fully stopped. It needed new batteries, the one in my office. All of downstairs and just the main room upstairs. Yep. And I wrote, I think on the agenda, I wrote next to it the last time it was done.
You told me. It's been
I think it was
a while.
17.
It's actually.
Yes, you did write it on the.
Yeah,
agenda.
2017, just as a
Yeah.
reminder to myself too.
I'm surprised. I gotta do it.
It's not so bad, but it's not so right. All right, I'm gonna bring August 12th meeting to order. Can we please stand and salute the flag? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm saying it right now. I just don't say, I really want to put that in. We do that at county, we say a little prayer before we start. Trust me, over there, we need that. Okay, we're gonna open the public thing. If anybody in the public has anything, who wants to go first? Public?
As far as just what's, questions about stuff?
Or anything you want to bring
Comment,
to us? Any
question,
comments,
comment, whatever.
anything?
I just have this, do we know anything of what's going on with the old Toby building on the corner?
I have not heard anything about that. What
Because
have
it
you
is
heard?
becoming a big hazard. They've started knocking the outside walls down.
What do you mean? Somebody's knocking the outside walls down?
Whoever is occupying that building next to it, the old laundromat with all the tires out in front of
Yeah,
it,
I
is
see that.
another hazard that's
Yeah, I see
down.
that guy, yeah.
They've been knocking the wall down on the west side of the building, which there is no floor in that building whatsoever. Everything is in the basement. All the way around, all it is the walls around it.
Really?
Some of those parcels did sell at the tax sale, so they don't belong to the old owner. There's another guy now, he bought quite a few properties. I'd have to check on the parcels, but I believe it's the same
I think
individual
it's the same one,
that's not local,
correct?
but he also bought a place further down 8.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But there's been people in there selling tires, occupying the little building, having fires inside the little building.
Really?
oh,
So
Do you think there's like squatters, you think?
No,
Or do you think
it's the
they're
people that,
owners?
Own it?
yes, or are renting it from the owner or something. But they've started knocking down the west walls and just have a tarp covering it like they're not doing anything. It's the biggest hazard we have now, and something's gonna happen sooner or later.
I don't even know who owns that.
Marcos
County
Harris.
code got it.
Well,
Talk to
I talked to county code when that tire place came in, because those tires don't have caps or whatever inside. And it's actually an environmental issue because of the creatures that are in the water and stuff like that. And he had said that they had spoke to him, and I hadn't heard anything back regarding that. But I had talked to Ethan, I believe it was.
You talked to Ethan?
Ethan or David? Ian, or David, one of them. Maybe,
Probably should talk to his head.
Do you know what the physical address of that is?
I don't.
It's the corner of 23 and 8. Okay. I didn't even know. I thought that was
That's
up.
county code. It's not, it's not.
Ian Odom,
Is he-
No, I
Not
thought,
Ian.
isn't it Isaiah?
Isaiah is, yeah.
Isaiah.
I would talk to him first. I think.
He's public health or environmental, isn't he?
Oh,
Isaiah.
okay.
yes, Ian is public. Ian
Yeah.
is part of code enforcement, and then there's
Right.
another one that covers the other side of the county.
But that's
Yeah,
who
Fox or
comes,
somebody.
Fox, yes.
Fox does one side, yeah.
because Isaiah comes to the committee meetings
Does he?
for
Yeah,
public
he
health.
just
and
moved up
environmental.
from public health to, I don't know what he kind of oversees a little bit more now, so he'd actually probably be a good person to reach out to.
At least he gave you the right person to talk to.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that was, I didn't
I
even
knew
know
there was
that was
somebody in
going.
there, but I couldn't figure out why they'd be in there.
There was
That
people
building,
selling
they're
tires
They're
out
selling, they've got all
Like
the
a
tires
store?
stacked out there, used tires, they're selling used tires and
Oh.
sets and stuff, and
They're not changing tires in there, or are they?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've seen cars jacked up out in
Really?
the parking lot, but whether they're their own, but
Yeah.
they
I'm
have
kind
the
of curious
tires.
about the 3313 and 3315 State Highway 8.
Okay. Did you say 15 and 18?
No, 3313 and 3315. We'll have to cross-reference that.
On the text map.
Only because I know the new owner's name, and there's only one property on 23 that they own, and that doesn't match up. That's 6343 State Highway 23.
Which
So,
could be the one that's on 23, which could be the laundromat.
the old laundromat, and then maybe the old hardware store is the 3313, and then I guess I don't know where
The
that
13
other,
would have to be the old hardware, and 15 would have to be the old Ken's Garage. Because they were separate parcels,
okay,
along with the M&M Furniture portion, I believe I think the M&M Furniture portion went with the old Valley House parking lot and the or the laundromat.
okay.
That was the three parcels.
Where was the laundromat? Which one is the laundromat?
That's the little concrete building set back on,
behind the Valley House.
Where you have the big parking lot in front
Yeah.
of it, that's the laundromat part? Because I don't ever remember a laundromat there, but this was before my time. But if you remember, Brandon, we're gonna have a
I don't remember
problem. Okay. Because I don't.
I just moved here.
Okay. Dave, you got
Dave?
anything?
Yeah, I asked David to come.
Okay.
He stopped and told me, he's looking for, sorry, Dave, but just explain a little bit
I
here.
just wanted to, see if we can get implemented so we can ride the ATVs and side-by-sides on the town road, like North Norwich has done.
Yes, we actually have that law in front of us, and I spoke to him a little bit about it. There has to be a public hearing, but they had their lawyer look at the local law that they filed.
Mhm.
And the only thing, and the highway guy, they listed all the roads that they were allowed. So we would have to list the roads we were allowed, because the problem with us too is State Route 8. We can't, that's not our road.
Right.
So no one, it wouldn't be allowed.
It's just the town road.
Just, it'd be just the
Just
town
the
roads,
town,
yeah,
Just town was all.
yeah.
And then I've also sent John a picture of the signs that they put up, all the new signs and stuff.
Oh, do you
They've
get that?
implemented this year, they're charging $10 per
That's
each-
what he told me today. They
each
charge
permit.
$10.
Yeah.
They
It
get
was free,
us,
now it's $10 per permit.
and they get a sticker for their window, he told me.
But I think, if I'm understanding it right, each town's gonna have their own registration for ATVs and UTVs.
Right.
You have
If you're
to,
gonna wanna go from town to town, you're gonna have to get a registration
For each
for each town, I would think.
Correct.
that makes it, like right now, I believe North Norwich is the only town in Shingle County that's done it.
They're
So,
trying to encourage others.
Yeah, she's hoping that other towns will.
yeah, if we do have a copy of the registration form. We'd have to have a permit number. They
Yeah,
have to.
insurance-
prove
insurance
Insurance,
and everything, right?
registration.
I got that already.
And I gave a copy to Dave, so he-
Okay.
Yeah, I have a copy here as well. I like to review it a little bit more, just to make
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, we are, 'cause we're
we
just-
gotta look
just
into
here.
it, but we do have it, and I did talk to him about the process and everything, if you put it out on a proposition for public vote, or if you just did a board vote. He goes, you can do it either way. So until we look at it, show it to the lawyer, see if there's anything, and I think we probably wanna show it to our insurance company.
How did the highway superintendent determine which roads they were gonna use? You know,
I'll ask the
Okay.
supervisor, cause I don't know, but they put,
I think that they just
Roads
put every
down.
town.
Every
where they have
town,
every
it.
road?
I think
Okay.
that's what they did.
They put the signs up, that's why they're charging $10 this year. They were free, the permits, now they're $10 this year.
yeah, he
So they
said,
can start implementing their money back and put the signs up and the time to put them up.
and for
Then
the
after they're paid
permits,
for,
yeah.
then it'll be profit.
Right. Yeah. Because that's what he told me. He said, we
Right.
just made a fee this year.
Right.
He did tell me that today. Because I asked him at county, he sits next to me at county.
Oh,
That's how I found it. I asked him, I took this with me. I said, tell me how you went about this and did
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And he said they did it by the local law,
right.
and we have that copy.
Yeah.
So I can't tell you any information tonight, but we can send it to the lawyer. We're gonna look into it more,
We're gonna talk and.
and
Yeah, what we're gonna do.
we'll go from there.
Okay.
But I do know it has been brought up at county a couple of different times
Mhm.
already.
Is there any concerns in county or?
Biggest concern is insurance. If it causes a car accident, is the town liable? That's the biggest thing why
That's one of the things in the law that you have to hear.
they have to have insurance on it.
You gotta have insurance. The ones that can be registered have to be registered. They also have to have insurance on them.
Yeah, and they have to bring that proof to us.
So it's gotta be put on this paper, we'll fill out for the permit
And I don't know, I think they do this yearly, they have to bring it in
every
to
year.
prove that the thing. And the next thing, which I know nothing about these things, so I'm really stupid right now. But another issue was there's no signals or mirrors on these things, I guess.
Mirrors, but a lot of them don't have signals on them. No.
Like they're worried about turning. If someone turns this way and a car doesn't know they're turning, and so that was like their big issue with accidents. And then, the roads that they're not allowed. And a lot of what they tell me, people want to go in the state lands, but like, do the state lands allow these in the state lands? I was under the impression they don't allow them in the state
Those
lands.
only.
No, you don't, no.
So that would be exempt from, because I think one of these things said
Stayed on state
to
land.
get on
Yeah,
state
yeah,
land, but
yeah,
you
that's
cannot
always
get
right.
permission, so that
No.
would definitely not be in our
Right,
local
right,
law.
right. At the end of that road that goes to state land, there have to be a sign with a red cross on it or
Because they're
something.
not
You
supposed
cannot
to be
use the
allowed,
road to
yeah,
enter the state land, right?
right. So, and he has something in here that says to access to state land. And I don't think that we should have that because in a lot of our roads.
But
you-
my understanding is, on the state roads, all you gotta do is, all you gotta have is a slow moving sign.
Slow moving emblem, right?
That one on the
Well,
back of your
according
thing,
to
and
the
you can go-
sheriff, that it's illegal to be on,
Well, yeah, I go-
state or
yeah, I go
county
by my
roads.
house also. Like
I
yesterday,
see 'em,
I
yeah.
saw a UTV going right down through.
I
I think
saw
the only time you
that.
can use state or highway roads is to get to the next spot off. That's the only time you can
Trail.
cross over is to get to the next trail.
Oh, to get to-
And or you have to get fuel.
Right.
Those are the,
oh,
those are.
So,
Yeah.
but we definitely will look
Like
into it,
your Ravens and Rambles get gas, then they go back,
right?
wherever they're.
Because
supposed to
there's been people that's been talked at county level too, so
Right.
I don't know if other towns are looking into it, but I know North Norwich was the first one
No.
to implement it.
I told Dave I would give it to you. I'll
Yeah.
follow up and-
So we'll
Okay.
definitely
from there.
research it more. We'll have to have the lawyer look at that and see.
Right, right.
I just didn't know if I didn't know if you put it out for proposition for a public vote. And if that's the case, if our lawyer recommends that, we can't get it on this year's ballot because it had to be in by August 3rd. It won't go on until next year's ballot. If there's an election next year. I don't know with the new election laws. So I don't know if our lawyer would advise us to make it the people vote for it or if we did it, but I don't know. That's the only difference, I think. They did it as, they put a public hearing on and they did it as a board vote, he told me.
Right.
He
Board
said,
vote-
but-
Board vote on it, right?
That's in North Norwich, that's what he told me, but he says you could do it either way. So,
What's the limits on insurance you have to have?
Limit for
Every one.
insurance is just the regular insurance that you put on them for the right of what's that called?
Liability.
Yeah, liability insurance, right?
do you know what the coverage is? Is there a maximum coverage?
That I do not know,
Okay,
without looking at because I've got both mine registered and insured and everything, so.
okay.
No, I just like mentioned car accident, I was wondering.
Right.
Right.
You know, it's,
Yeah, that was like the biggest thing with county, and,
I know, they didn't say what they,
What was the last thing?
I didn't see it. I didn't see
No, I
anything
didn't
about
either.
if
I
they
just-
had a
I
maximum
didn't
for
go through it all.
insurance
Right.
fees.
that's all I
or-
know is they make you put it on here, your insurance, that number.
And I'm wondering-
Driver's license.
I'm wondering if, like, our insurance company is gonna charge a higher percent because we allow it. I don't know, because it will make the town maybe liable, maybe not, I don't know. These are all questions we gotta answer. So, okay, next. Pete,
No, I'm very interested in that because, I understand the intent of the law abiding folks that are trying to use their ATVs effectively, but we have some folks that are running up and down sidewalks and everything else.
Oh.
These things, and that's, we're gonna have to make sure we have that tightened up. It's crazy. We got some folks there, and I know that there are, David and Lisa and state guys are actually watching in the village.
okay,
So we gotta make sure that we have our T's crossed and our I's dotted on that. I
Because with
appreciate
that-
where David's coming from on this, but
let me
these
ask
guys
you,
are-
if we made the
Well, I
local
didn't
law,
even
would that
tell you.
include the village roads too, or is that something separate?
It's gotta be
Our
town.
town roads, so it would
we-
include the village.
Well,
Unless you-
who supersedes whom on the laws here on this.
Okay. All right, Pete,
Okay, real quickly, village office is now operating 7:30 to 4, Monday through Friday. Lunch half hour is 1 to 1:30, but other than that, it is back and running from 7:30 to 4 on a regular basis. Wednesday, we have paving going on in the village. It's not paving, it's sealing and minor repairs. It's going to be all done hopefully within one day at multiple sites, Railroad, I believe Cushman, Elm, and Green Streets are all going to be affected.
then when
It's
is
a matter
this
of a few.
happening?
Wednesday.
Wednesday, okay.
I appreciate Brennan and the guys being able to haul rock for us. That was done on short notice and very, very, very helpful on that one. Thank you.
We're gonna assist you guys with the project there as well, hauling stone, so.
That's good.
Love that.
And last thing, this is in case you hear anything about it, because I'm sure that there's going to be somebody complaining. On Thursday, as you know, we've had the summer youth program. It's been a combination of the village with a lot of assistance from the Berlin Cultural Center. And the Berlin Cultural Center has bought most of the supplies. They paid for a couple of their employees to come on out and support this. The kids have actually created little pieces of art that are going to be displayed up at in front of the Masonic Temple up here in a case that's about the size of a large aquarium. And what is not put into that will be auctioned off. And it is not, the proceeds are not going to the village. The proceeds are going to go to the kids, up to $10 per piece of art. It starts out at a quarter. It's just something where the little kid, the 8 or 9-year-old kid says, "Oh, I sold a piece of art to someone for $1.50. They must really like it." You know,
Yeah, that's cool.
and
Yeah.
anything over $10, if in fact someone really wants to do something for more than $10, it's going to be considered a good free will donation to the cultural center. Nothing to the village. The village is not sponsoring this. This is a cultural center of the effort that was put forth by the program, but it is not a village effort.
Do you have a date on that? The art show?
Thursday, 6 o'clock.
Oh, this Thursday.
It's going to be fun. It should be fun.
Okay, Thursday, 6 p.m. Sorry, I wrote Thursday, didn't see it. That's it, Pete?
That's it.
Wow, short county meeting and short Pete meeting? Love you, Pete. All right. Anybody
You won't have
else?
to take a number, I'll tell you that. There's not a line of people.
I'm not sure how this affects the village or whatever. There have been 2 different times when I tried to go up School Street and there have been people parked. And
On both sides.
one lady stopped dead in front of me. Dead in front of me. Without a signal or anything. Got out of the car and went into the nook. and never returned, and left enough space for me to get to turn right, and this isn't the only time it's happened. And I'm hearing other people talk about that issue on the end of School Street and the safety of getting in and out of there. So I don't know if School Street's a village street or.
School Street is a village street. There are two designated parking spots there that we have to put the, refresh the lines on, but I think that that's all there is on School Street. It's the
You
ones
better
that,
get those lines on there because people are doing crazy stuff. And it's gonna cause an accident.
Should
Because
only
the
be
other
a
thing is the sight
15
distance.
feet off.
Now that they've
corner.
changed the fact that you can park in front of that building, except for where that green sign says no parking to School Street, which isn't very far. And with all the trucks going through, et cetera, sometimes the sight distance isn't very good there. You look and you pray. So, just so you know.
well, we'll take a look because we did adjust the local law as far as parking there to accommodate a couple spots on both, but I think they're exceeding the designated spots.
I think they are.
That's what it is. We had two spots on the.
So was it on the right going up the street or on the left coming back down the street? Where it was parking?
The two spots that I know of are next to the next to the drugstore.
Gotcha. Well, that's not where this lady was.
I know there are people that are parked on the other side as you're coming down School Street from the school. I know that there's a lot of other unloading that's going on there. And on top of that, you've got activity with the building the other portion of the building as they're preparing that one for opening as well. So it's making it even more congested right at this time.
Just so you know.
And,
Okay, anybody else? We good? Okay, I need approval for the monthly minutes for July 8th. I need a motion.
I need a motion.
Second.
Roy, all in favor?
Aye.
Any discussion? Okay. I need a motion to accept the monthly reports.
Move.
Second,
I second.
okay. All in favor? Aye. Hello, Brandy.
Hello. Not much. I didn't include it in my report, bring it up to you guys now. A while back, we deemed a mower, a roadside mower and a broom surplus
Mhm.
equipment. Auctions International, well, their account was hacked, so that right now they're not putting new things on until they can get their program back running.
Okay.
And any other auction site that I've reached out to requires some sort of payment. So we can't list it for free like we used to. But saying that, I was approached by the highway superintendent for the town of Pittsfield. And he's very interested in the broom that we have.
Okay.
And I was thinking maybe we could do like an intermunicipal deal. That they could have it, not have it, but they could purchase it from us. With the intent, if we ever need it back, we'd be able, it's like a shared piece of equipment in a way. And I was gonna put our broom on there for like $1,500 minimum bid, because the thing's a dinosaur. And
Yeah, because we have a new broom, right?
yeah,
We got the new broom with it.
we have 3, we wanna unload that one, so we only have 2.
Do we need to share it?
We don't really need to. I mean, just like they would purchase it, but Jim and I talked a little bit about it. And if we, God forbid, we needed it back, we could use it for the time being, but they own it.
Mhm.
Just kind of something we were,
Was that what you were putting it up for bid for? What we?
I was gonna put a minimum bid of $1,500 on it because it is old and it needs a little
Okay.
work. I don't know if that's something, like I said, just to bring that up to you guys to ponder a little
I
bit.
don't have a problem selling it to somebody local, as long as they.
It might bring more on an auction, it might not. It's-
But we don't know when they're gonna be up and running.
Yeah, and like I said, the other auction sites, we have to pay to use them.
Okay.
So,
We'll get the first price.
You
Let me
think?
look in my notes also on any future things that you have that are surplus, because there was an auction site at my clerk training,
Okay.
and I think they were very similar to Auctions International. I just didn't entertain it much more than a conversation.
Right.
Because we use Auctions International. I'll see if I can find
Yeah,
that.
that was kind of the same.
I thought I gave you something from another auction house, but that I got at my training too, but I don't know if that was.
I don't know. I can't
That was the
remember.
one. Did I give you the one? I love my superintendent.
Oh, I have a bunch of them stickers.
Yeah.
Nobody wants them.
But it was, I don't know if there's a fee for it either.
Right.
And I can't remember. the name.
Thanks, I didn't include that in the report.
So do you want to do that or do you want to wait? That's,
I have to see what his funds are. I don't, it
Okay.
was just kind of talk. So
okay, so you'll
he was
come back
gonna-
with
He was
it.
gonna give me a.
Okay, He's
their
gonna say.
budget's pretty thin, so.
okay.
But, yeah, August report, we did our weekly mowing and maintenance of Millbrook.
Yeah, I
Um,
want to know on your second thing, what, this is gonna be stupid again. What does peeled shoulders mean? What does that mean, peeled?
We take the grader, we go on the shoulders of the road and pull the excess sod and debris off the road so the water can drain out the road instead of pooling on it.
Okay, so you just scrape it down.
We scrape it down and put it in the middle of the road and the windrow, pick it up and get rid of it.
Okay. And that's on the sides, the shoulders.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically from.
I didn't know what that meant. I never seen that. I didn't know what that meant. So I underlined it.
Practice.
Okay, well, like I said, that's why I don't do highway, because I don't know.
We did a few pipe projects, removing old steel and boiler pipes, and replacing them with plastic. Plastic pipes should never rot, unless they're ruined by someone driving over them. But as a permanent fix, that's something. And we
That
have more
was
to
good.
do after the rain we had the other day. We got quite a few more to do. We got away pretty good, but
Do we have a lot of damage? or-
not really. We had on Humphrey Road, we had water running. The pipe just is not big enough for,
With that amount of rain, yeah.
and we need to up the size of the pipe because the water's running in the guy's basement.
Oof.
And then over the former judge, he has a crossover pipe under the road that was taking all it could. It's only 12-inch pipe and that requires at least probably 24-inch.
24.
Yeah, at least, because and he was, it probably could have, if it was worse, compromised the structure of his bar.
Is that one on Bida or is that still on Humphrey? too?
That one is on Vita.
Bida
The
Road.
one on Humphrey needs to be changed as well.
Are these, you're gonna get on this year or?
Oh, yeah,
Okay, okay,
I'm hoping we can do them both in a day.
okay.
We did our routine maintenance on our equipment and trucks. We had a dam inspection on July 22nd. We need to, they call it the groins, which is the ditches along the side that are layered with riprap.
Right, all right. Nobody did that, yeah.
And it's basically the same thing every year. They want us to trim up. I think they have to give us something in our report
Yeah,
to justify
Yeah,
it.
they did it, they said some of the stuff they could make up.
Sure, absolutely.
yeah, I remember a lot of trimming last year had to be
Yeah.
done on the, yeah.
And like last year, we didn't mow the spillway. This year we did, and he marked us up for not mowing it, like it needs to be mowed again, so
Oh,
we'll get to that again at some point.
okay.
Matt and Paul have done a lot of our roadside mowing. We've made it around twice now, and now we're just starting to mow back a little bit of our big areas, overgrown. Justin and Jason have made really big gains in ditching. Most of our problem areas are hit now. We just have to
Work
get
on
back
this.
into our routine maintenance of ditching,
Okay.
getting our drainage back in order. Joey Thompson started today.
Did you give her the release one?
Oh, no, I did not. It's on my desk.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotta make sure.
Yeah, I'll get that in here tomorrow.
Well, give it to Deb so she can put it in his
Yep.
HR file
I'll make a copy
from
for
his,
one.
he had a
Yeah,
surgery, he got a doctor's release that he could come back early.
But he comes highly recommended from his BOCES instructors, and I'm hoping he's gonna be a lifer.
So are we.
Yeah, he's young. He's 19 years old. He
Yeah.
has a CDL, so he's motivated. And that's what we need.
Great.
I submitted our last CHIPS reimbursement on July 23rd for $36,664.81 for the purchase of the Alamo Grass King mower and some cold patch that we made. I just got my last CHIPS statement. In total, we have that big number there.
Yeah,
That we can spend. Obviously, we can't spend all that because we don't have all that, but that's what's on the table for us.
Right.
I haven't heard anything as far as the chips goes.
they changed the, yeah,
They sent out a newsletter and it wasn't in it,
Okay.
so we're just kind of rolling with what we got right now.
okay,
I should have, moving into September, I plan on renting a roller so we can finish our patchwork, on our shoulders. This includes using our dump truck, a grader, and a roller. And if the weather permits and I have to go back through and check our budget and stuff, maybe we can make another pile so we can be ready to go for the spring.
did you get quotes on that roller? It is, we need to get estimates on that?
I got one the other day from 5-Star John Deere. They were $3,500 a month to rent, where I think we were paying $7,000 last month.
Last year?
Or last year, sorry.
Is that local? Is that including transport, them
Yep,
bringing
yep,
it?
that's everything. I did a check around with a
Yeah, I
couple.
think you better.
Dan
We're
always,
supposed to at least.
Dan always used Alta equipment and they were,
That's who I thought it was.
that's who we always use. Like I said, I think that was $7,000 last year. We can go through the chip stuff again. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure it's 7.
Okay.
So we can.
But I don't know how many months he had it either.
It was quite a while. We had it early.
Okay.
Uh,
Oh, we had it for a long time, you
Yeah.
think, for
We
7,000?
got it in
Okay.
April
Okay,
when it was still really wet and we couldn't use it hardly.
okay. Okay,
What's the new pile down there?
That's where we stockpiled for the village a little bit because they didn't have a spot in their yard. So we just put it down there. Yeah, they're gonna do their chip sealing and micro paving. You're probably gonna give them assistance however they need, whether it be traffic control or
Airport.
whatever, trucking.
okay. Justin go in today?
Justin went in, I haven't heard from him,
Okay,
but it should have been in and out, big deal.
for today's surgery?
Yeah.
Okay.
Other than you guys have questions?
I don't, I'm good.
Yeah, I'll talk with Jim from Pittsburgh, if you guys are on board with that, you know.
Yeah, I don't have a problem if it's gonna be a while. I mean,
Because I have that and a mower that needs to be, I want it gone out of our way. So,
does he want the mower too?
no, probably not. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Thank
And
you,
then,
guys.
and then, I'll, get with you for the budget.
Sure.
But you got your slip.
Yeah.
Your wish list.
Haven't filled it out, I'm still thinking.
Yeah, think all you want.
I will.
You can make it long and argue.
No, you can't, because we're gonna start the budget process. Okay,
Thanks, guys.
Dave, you're next. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right.
Nice. Quick and easy.
Just make sure this is on the business.
On the kitchen. This would be like a alcohol kitchen. That'd be something. They're all waiting on you guys with counters.
Oh.
I'm not doing the counters.
Yeah,
we're
we're ready.
We're ready.
We're ready.
All right,
We're
so
ready.
you have the report in front of you.
Yeah.
Again, the officers are all doing a great job. On here, it doesn't show, but they probably pulled over about 65 cars this past month. They wrote 22 tickets. They patrolled over 2,000 miles this past month. A lot of arrests, one felony arrest, misdemeanor arrest violations. So they're out there just doing what they need to do, plus they're still intermingling with the community, so they're really doing a good job. The only real thing I have is, I know and after reading it from the last time, it was confusing. I knew what they were talking about for the ice scan,
Yeah.
or, ice scan, but
And when you guys look at your thing, Debbie, this was so little down here, the maintenance to your compliance thing, she blew it up. So
Yeah.
this second page is just the blow up of the bottom, so you can understand. Because it's so hard to
I
read.
figured you guys would be passing glasses around.
Yeah, I remember to bring
I
mine.
just blew
I
it
got
up
last,
for
I
you.
still can't read it.
Well,
It was tiny last time.
Yeah.
I didn't even read it.
so when I read it afterwards, I agreed, they were like, this doesn't make sense. So
Okay,
when I which took a little while, as I contacted them, and the person I was doing business with, no longer worked for the company.
promised him all this stuff. and-
So then the CEO called, he goes, he's giving you all this stuff? And I said, yeah. So they're gonna honor it, because, I mean, they're giving us all those 2 years. So nothing is we will have no additional cost till after 2030. And, this entire project here is being paid for by the grant that we already have.
Yeah, this is all grant money.
Plus, we'll have some money left over, as I was telling Wendy in April, the excess can go towards
Building that
offset
road.
of that room.
Like he can submit our receipts from B&H,
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
whatever we have left over. I mean, it won't cover it all, but it might
No,
cover a little bit.
Yeah, it'll be at least another 12 months.
Dave, once we'll sign this tonight's in our old business to pass, once we send this in, did they tell you a timeframe?
They didn't yet, because I'm still waiting on this. And I-
Okay,
Because I'm
okay.
trying to get this, it's a
Right.
moving scale.
Okay,
So I have, there's an original one you want to sign it. I don't.
okay. Leave it for me, and then after, because it's in old business, I'll sign it, and then I'll give it back to you. Okay.
Yeah, so then I'll send that out to them, and then we'll be getting the equipment, and until we pay the entire amount, then they'll go live. At least we'll have here set up.
Yeah, we don't have to pay the full, I don't know, once we sign it, they'll send us a thing where we gotta give a down payment. But what we're gonna do is, we're gonna take it out of our reserve fund. And then when we get the grant that we've been approved for, we'll submit all the money. It's just like chips. We gotta spend the money and then they'll reimburse us the money.
Yeah, they said the turnaround rate, and I think that's brought to the point, you don't want to wait too far into the end of the year, so the state budget gets a little
Yeah,
goofy.
yeah.
So the sooner the better, we just send it in.
yeah,
Because they said right now it's probably about a month or 2 month process to get the return
okay,
reimbursement.
okay.
Could you just make a copy of that,
This one?
Wendy, after you
Sign
sign
it,
it, so
yeah,
that I can
yeah,
scan
we
that
can
in
do it,
as.
And then, next board meeting, I'll transfer the money out of reserves. I'll make the resolutions transfer to pay for. So
On a
we can cut
side
a
note,
check.
For the village town cameras project, unfortunately, the guy was sick. He got pretty ill, he was in the hospital. So he is getting better, so as soon as I get a timeline, I talked to him as of last week, not him, his wife as of last week, and he's on the mend, but he was in a bad way there, so hopefully he'll be okay to get this up and running for everybody.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have that.
Yeah.
Good.
And I'll review this.
Yeah,
whole thing on-
yeah, go over it and see, tell me what you like, what you don't like for us, I mean.
Well, the biggest thing is the liability. for the
I know,
town.
it's like
That's what I
everything,
mean.
it's like everything, yep,
Yeah,
and all that stuff.
If we don't hold harmless, then it's a different story. It's easier to pass that way.
okay. All right,
Anything else, Stephen?
No, I'm good for everything.
Preparing.
okay. All right, okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
Is it?
Town supervisor, that's me.
Just talking.
Okay, county-wide, we're starting the budget process, which is my first year doing it. It's quite, I asked a lot of questions today with one of my committee chairpersons. Because what we do is if the budget is broke down by committees. So we have to do every line in our committees that are under our committees. So, and this budget is in a book, so I didn't quite understand it. So next Monday and the following Wednesday, I'll probably be at county for quite a while. They said that meeting will be long, and we're starting the budget process. I have on my list, but I don't know if you want to wait for the mill. Y'all got the text message on the Millbrook complaint, the email.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk about that in Millbrook, or do you want me to talk about it now? Or wait till Millbrook?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and then I got two last things. I got contacted by the Board of Education wanting to know how we did school taxes and how that worked. And I couldn't answer them because I didn't really know, because I said, you have to ask them, because all I know is we get the $1,000. So I guess she went to the Luke from the business office, and he contacted me. And I think we made a mistake when we gave our deputy clerk the $1,000, from now what I'm understanding. The $1,000 is for the town to pay for Debbie's hours and the deputy clerk's hours and whatever ink and paper that we use to facilitate doing this. Because I know you've had a complaint about it, the hours are taken away from our town clerk, but that's why they give us the $1,000 to subsidize her pay for that. And I wasn't
That was
under,
what I explained to you guys.
I didn't
when
understand
decided
it.
To give it to the deputy, that was,
see, and I didn't understand that either.
Right.
I didn't really realize how that worked. So what he has offered, because he told me how much work you do, and Debbie does most of the stuff on her own time at home. And he explained to me all the stuff you gotta do, and that's just us. So he suggested that this year, the clerk and the deputy keep a log. Like, and he says, it doesn't have to be exact, but keep a log, like when you start collecting the school taxes, if it takes 2 minutes, every day we did 5 today, we did 10, if it takes 3 minutes. And you time your hours, because he says if we don't feel like we're getting enough, we can bring it back to the school and they will raise the town's portion. They work with her with whatever Debbie gets paid. I didn't even know how that worked. I thought they paid you. The money comes to us and we pay you. And I didn't know these things. So that's what he asked us to do for this season. For 2024, log it. We'll figure it out. Debbie will give us the hours that they worked on it. And then we'll figure out by their hours and receipts, ink. I don't know how many receipts you print out. Is it a lot? Or do you just stamp the receipt that they
we
bring?
stamp theirs and then we don't do any postage. We
Yeah.
stamp theirs and then they
Right.
send somebody every day to pick up the mail.
Yeah, that's what I
And they
said.
bring it back to the school and they do all the
Yeah,
postage.
so
and
we don't have to
everything.
do any of the back and forth. We don't
They
mail
do the
anything.
envelopes.
Yeah,
and
we don't
everything,
mail
so it's-
receipts. We don't do any
No.
of that. So, I don't know if I don't know if you told the new deputy clerk about that stipend,
I did.
because I think we're gonna have to make a motion to rescind that. Because I didn't realize how that worked. And that way, that's covering both of their hours. And if it has to be more, we'll have to negotiate with the school. I didn't know how it worked.
No, you do.
Now I do, because I'm like, how wouldn't you know this? You're on the school board. Wouldn't you guys set this up? So,
Maybe we can talk off to the side, not in an open meeting, since that was already something offered and that tax season is coming up.
and that's what he called me out of the blue and she came to me out of the blue, so. And then the next thing I just want you all to know, I gave everybody their budget wish list, their Christmas list to write down. Budget's gonna start. I don't anticipate, I don't know how long, how many workshops we're gonna have to do, but I will tell you, there will be some extra lines, because we have none for training. Debbie brought some things of office supplies for each department up to me. So we will have some added lines probably, so it's more cohesive, okay? So that's all I got for that. And next, justice report. Any questions on the justice? Okay. South Berlin Water. Any questions on that? Like you heard me say, we were out of power. This week, I think it rang at least 10 times. And the skid is in. That has all been put in. And I think that's on the agenda, right, Deb?
The skid is on the agenda at the very end, but I did get you that quote for the UPS. I went through computer ER. Speaking of power being out,
Oh, for the backup battery.
For the backup
Oh, okay,
battery.
what is that?
it's $249 each, so for the two, it came to like $499 or $498.
$498?
Yep.
Okay. We have, for our computer system, we have a backup thing, which we bought one from Amazon. It said it was returnable. It came in, something's cracked on it. We've been trying to return it. And it was $189.
I looked it up today.
And there's the vendor saying they won't take it back. So we're trying to work with Amazon to get that taken back. But we don't know if it's just a broken part inside, if it might work, if it won't. But we're trying, before we opened the box, we had it all sealed to mail back, but then we had a problem with sending it back. Since the power went off this weekend, now we're having a problem with the backup battery reading up to the tower. That one from the power surge back off and on. So we have to buy two now.
It needs them soon
And we
because
need
it's
them
not
right away.
communicating.
Because it's not communicating to the tower to flip the switches.
I told him, come pick up the one that we've been trying for months to return and just see if it works.
Did you tell him to pick that up so we can draw it? Yeah,
Yep, so he hasn't yet, but
so maybe he'll pick it up tomorrow.
if it's just cosmetic, then.
But this
maybe
was,
it'll
this
work.
was back when, the first time Tim came, when we were getting the list of all the checklists to do. And that backup battery was one of them to get. So she called Computer ER. And I think we should get them from our local computer guy.
It costs a little more, but I think the idea of there's something wrong with it, having somebody to return
They
it
can
to.
And fix, or maybe they can
Because
fix it or
We put in
something.
a lot of time with Amazon and we've still gotten nowhere,
Nowhere.
it's just crickets.
Sarah's emailed them, Debbie's emailed them.
Really.
Yeah. And it says right on there, it was returnable. And we're fighting with them to return it. So does someone want to make a motion right now
I'll make a motion.
that we order the backup batteries?
Second.
Okay, April, Roy second, and Debbie will order those. Okay,
All bigger.
all in favor? Thanks, John. Aye. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Other than that, you will notice, and when we get into the new business, he gave us an estimate on that skid was 3,800. It came in at 40, the bill was 40, I can't remember, Deb.
4,689.
It came in more because he ordered the extra part. The skid was the new pump system, and I talked to Roy about it. He ordered the extra part, so if the pump breaks, it guts and stuff, so he has it. So the bill came in more, and that's why it was higher than the estimate.
It'll be stuff we'll need,
Yeah,
you know, maybe not today and tomorrow, but
Right.
shortly down
Yeah.
the road.
Maintenance.
Something.
because the chlorine just eats those things, the little
Sure.
things up, and they start dripping, and so, okay. What's next?
Well, if you're on it, do you want to just vote to make it a prepay since it came in the day a couple hours after I printed the reports and ended the bills?
That bill.
Then it came in, but we didn't want to process it until it was approved for the extra, so
Sure.
we didn't understand why.
Okay,
So we're looking to see if we can do it as a prepay when she
so when
comes in
Joan
tomorrow.
comes in tomorrow, she can just pay that bill because it came in.
Right.
Okay. So I need a motion to accept the difference in the price and to pay as prepaid. Roy, or John, second,
Yeah, it's like-
Roy, okay,
Okay, so that's.
okay.
All bigger.
that's good.
All in favor? Thanks, John. See, I knew I was
Try to
training
help
you,
out, try to help
training
out.
you right to sit right up
Be nice
here.
to you today.
It's just because it's budget season, that's
I'll mark
why.
it down on the calendar for next month.
Okay. Where was I? Assessor. There was no report. Town clerk's report. Any questions? All good?
The only thing in my report I wrote underneath, I was looking to get approval for the $144 annually for
Oh,
Grammarly.
for Grammarly.
It just helps, like, one of the big things, well, I know that I have a template and I type my minutes quickly, and I know you guys have found some things here and there that have misspelled and whatnot, and it was mentioned that you wanted things that were posted to look more professional. Now doing this grant for the dam, just trying to type out emails and stuff. I just thought for $144, sometimes when I'm speeding through things, it would be nice to, sometimes they reword it. They'll actually tell me this sounds passive. Do you want it to be professional? This sounds aggressive. I mean, even just in emails. That was on the trial one, but the trial one only allows you 3 corrections per day. So I was looking for approval to order the annual for the 144.
My question is, like, I see the annual, I see the quarterly and the monthly, and then I see on the back, what is this?
You asked me how many that would be for. The 144 would just be for my computer.
Oh, that's just for
But then
yours.
Then I clicked to see if I was able to get more, because I know that you would probably appreciate it as well.
The three quantity.
more.
And so when it became business and
That is
free,
definitely something I could use.
it became 540, but what's interesting is, as soon as you click on business, it goes up to 180 per person. So I don't know if you're just better off doing a couple individuals, because
Do it, and then it would be only,
144 per,
Okay.
so I mean, if we put it on mine, we put it on your computer where a lot of things are typed, but there's not a lot on the others, like, you know, my deputy doesn't type up a lot of
right,
stuff like that, or if
right.
they did and sent it to me, my Grammarly would pick it up.
Okay,
I personally use Grammarly and I love it.
you love it, okay. And Deb, what line is this gonna come out of? That's
Town clerk?
Town clerk line?
Yep.
Is that the one we're over because of the code enforcement? Is that line?
Yeah.
So that when I know to make the resolution, I make it.
Right, so it'll be
Okay.
for
Okay.
that much more eventually, because it'll come out of card member.
I'll move
What line yours coming
I'm not ordering mine yet. I'll wait till next year because my line has been over budget 3 times this year.
on your wish list.
So, yeah, I'll put it on my wish list, Roy, and you can see. So, but, you know, maybe Debbie would just,
I move it.
like, maybe I can just have Debbie write it for me and email it to me. We only have the paper one. All right, John said yes. I need a second.
I second it.
All in favor?
Right.
All right. Any more discussion? We're good? You're all set. Thank you for that. All right, next, Millbrook. Connie,
Yes, ma'am.
you want to come up to the table? No, you don't. You don't want to come to the big table. Okay. All right, you want to hit me or you want me to read with Sarah's comments?
I don't know what Sarah had for comments. She didn't send them to me.
Okay, wish we could make it tonight, but I need to spend time with my family. If you have any questions or additional inputs, please feel free to call me in a minute. Okay, manager's report, that's what Connie sent. You've got June and July's, is it June and July's or July and August?
July and August.
July and August, okay.
Or no.
June and
July and August, covering June and July.
Okay, okay. And then, she says patrons continue to make suggestions and requests regarding the store, and the park. All patrons I've personally spoken to have extremely been pleased with the visible changes to the park. Thanked for our staff for doing such an outstanding job. And I guess we can move, well, I'll skip that and go to, she updated the park rules and regulations.
Yes.
Okay, so you all got a copy of that. And this is the flyer that she started to make, and it will fold
The brochure.
like this. The only thing she's waiting for, she has a friend that's gonna come and take an aerial picture or a
Drone?
yeah, I didn't know what that word was. I didn't think of it. Because on our picture on our website right now, it doesn't have our store and stuff. You know, it's not a new aerial picture. But this is what it'll look like in color. You got a black and white copy. And then it has our scheduling, our refund schedule, activities. It's really nice. In color, it's real nice. And then this blank thing will have the aerial map, the new map.
Nice.
And so I thought she did a really nice job on it. And she did a good job. So if anybody has any changes you want, let me know. If you do that, you scan that with your phone, popped right up, the website, so you can make a reservation. So that was cool. Can I help you?
Can you have the town board meeting?
Yep,
Right
it
here.
started at 6. You missed open public
Oh, wow.
public information.
6:30.
Okay. So that's on there. What else do I have? That's the brochure, the park rules update. So now, we have the event. Can I ask what your name is?
Vicki?
Vicki? Okay. After I get done with this president, like if you want, did you want to come to make a comment tonight, or are you just coming to sit in?
I don't know.
Okay.
I have lots of questions, so.
Okay, because we've already shut down the public, but it's up to the board if
Yeah,
you
that's
want me to. We'll open it back up for you quick, if you want.
Don't know, I have no idea what you guys do here. I know what my town does, I have no idea what you
Okay,
guys do.
okay. So we did have a complaint, an incident up at Millbrook, that we had to call the police and ask the people to leave. This isn't the first complaint we've had. It is, actually the third, I believe, on the same family.
It was an ongoing thing last year with the same family.
Yeah, last year they were diving in off of the dam, the cement,
The overflow.
the overflow thing, swimming over there
We had to go down there at least a dozen times.
to get them to stop. And then we had a problem with dogs not being on a leash. Lisa had to tend to that. And then this year there was throwing of sand. A mother with a 2-year-old came up and asked Connie to have them stop. They went down, spoke to them. The mother didn't realize, well, I told them to stop. You want to tell a story?
Well, they were really nasty to the people
That
that,
kind of
because
strong.
she went to them directly.
Went to the mother.
2-year-old.
To ask the kids to stop.
And they just wanted to
And the
start a fight with
mother
them.
just started being really nasty. And so they came to me. I went out there. I saw them throwing the sand. So I told them, asked them nicely to stop. And they just got real nasty with me. But I walked away at that point. And then I went back down to do some of my stuff that I needed to do on the pavilion. And they were yelling at me again. So I just told Brian to call Lisa. And I wasn't going to deal with it after what happened last year.
So Lisa came in and told them that they had to leave and gave them that they can't come back. They have emailed us asking to come back. Connie is okay with them coming back if they follow the rules.
But I'm not gonna put up with them being nasty to other people in the park or us when we're trying to do our job.
Right.
If they're not going to
And just-
listen or follow the rules, then I'm not gonna let them come back
So
this season.
just before she told me to call Lisa, I went down there and I was just gonna kick the 2 boys out for continually throwing sand after being told twice. And they were like, you can't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
And I looked over at Mom, she had a smirk on her face. And just waiting for me to touch her underage kid is what she was doing, to go in there and drag him out of the water. And I know that's what she was waiting for. And that's when Connie said, go call Lisa.
So I want you to think about that, if we allow them with maybe an apology to our staff to come back, or if they can behave and come back, but if they act up again, what is gonna be our recourse? Or do we say, no, till next year and we'll try it again next year? Because I told her I'd respond, I'll email her tonight after the board meeting. I told her we would discuss it at the board meeting if she wanted to come and send me any of her input or anything she want, and I haven't heard back from her at all.
Do we know, did Lisa go up?
Yes.
Yeah, Lisa
Yes.
was there.
Do you
I
know what
did
the
do a report.
response was when Lisa went up? Was it a?
It's, the police report is in
I
the,
didn't read it.
yeah.
She was nice to Lisa. And the kids were
Very,
being very, very nice.
very
And
quiet when Lisa went up
Yeah.
there.
I mean, I'm just wondering if that was enough of a scare tactic that maybe it's an eye opener. I don't know. I'm just always looking at the glass, half full. And
Well, last year in the woods when they were, Alicia kicked them off the overflow for diving off it like several times. They just were screaming obscenities all the way out to the parking
speeding
lot.
around the parking lot.
And then they were like out when they drove out the whole 9 yards.
And I do believe she contacted John at one point and wanted to know why they couldn't swim out there on the
Yeah,
overflow.
will tell you the truth, I had accidentally, I was up there we're working on that pump, I think.
Was
I
it-
saw the lady, I talked to her, I said, you know, how you like it up here? Well, I don't like the rules. It used to be, we didn't have any rules and we could do what we want. I said, well, now you gotta, and she said, well, he kicked us off that night, well, you shouldn't be out there swimming
One
anyway.
of those kids gets stuck down that thing.
Well, I think our staff made the right choice, and I
I
think
do too.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they should, if they can come back next year and act decent, that's
Right.
time to start over, but
This
Okay.
year it's. we
they
don't
created a
Season's almost over
situation.
anyhow.
They were warned several times.
Okay.
Well, we got better things to do than control the same people.
Okay, I think that's all Sarah had on her list. Other than that, besides it being hot and being real busy, I saw your report with the amount of people that been
The,
coming.
That was been crazy, crazy
Yeah.
hot.
We were supposed, did you ever get a railing on the porch? There's supposed to be a railing for people that step down.
There's
There's
no
a
railing,
ramp.
but they put
They put a ramp,
brought
so
the
you don't
dirt
need to step
in
anymore, you
and
mean?
made it like a ramp.
It's a
but
slope, like,
It's a slope,
but there's no
just the
railings
dirt.
up yet.
there's no railings, so, cause
But it goes all the way up to the driveway. I don't know if we need one. What do you think?
I'm
well,
just-
I was under the impression
that
it
was
was gonna
discussion
have
we
to be
had
a
that
railing if
at
it was
least-
going to be asphalt or like cement or whatever.
I was up there one time, I was talking to the guys about that, and thought that if we filled it in like it is.
Right.
It'd be a whole lot cheaper and easier than trying to do some kind of ramp with railings and whatever.
Okay,
If it
it's
washes away,
working.
we'll put some more
Does
gravel back in there.
anybody have any trouble getting down off the porch?
Not so far, it
very
is starting to somewhat, like, with all this rain we've gotten, it's starting to like
Yeah.
No, he-
flatten
yeah,
out
he
a
said
little
he
bit.
He's gonna, I thought he said he's gonna put something more permanent over
Yeah,
that
he was
once
gonna
it's
see how
set.
this worked, if it stayed well, and if it wasn't, then he would.
I'm surprised
uh,
it's stayed this well so far.
In fact, that stuff down, that's pretty good. In
He
fact,
did, he packed it out
Well,
real
yeah.
good.
the rain we've had,
Got to fill it a little extra, you know, fill it back in once in a while. Probably
So-
wash off the ends at the beginning anyway.
Right.
And so fill it back in and
We do need to have the porch, the underneath of the porch,
The two corners.
raised up,
well,
the
they're
dirt
thinking,
and stuff, because if
The
you look
railing
at it,
goes like. And the
Probably
roof
settling.
goes like this and then drops.
and it's cracking on the inside.
So it's probably
So you can
settling.
see the porch on each end that is just kind of dipping down because it's washed away from underneath
yeah,
there.
run. raise
So we
up,
need
put
to
some Support under it.
right, right.
put some type
Big
of
ol'
support under it.
Is that
Problem.
something you can do, Brian, or do we gotta send the highway out?
I could do it if I could bring my tractor up there and just put the bucket under and just tilt back just a little bit, and then I can get the thing in there. We actually need a bucket up there anyway. The goose, where we're piling the goose poop is literally that tall. No lie. 4 foot deep and about 8 or 10
Or
foot
people like that, you know, that's-
and about 8 or 10
I
foot
know.
long. So it needs to be pushed back.
Okay.
So I need a bucket for that. We also need a bucket to down at the bottom where the fence is.
Oh, we need to pull.
We need to
part of
pull
the
that
fence off.
post
Oh, you
stuff.
tried, you could get that out.
No.
Not with the UTV, no, because what we discovered is we undid the fence. And then when we went to pull it out of there, we got it
It's
almost out and then it's like
wrapped around the pole.
stuck to the pole that's down there that's by itself, so we need to,
The
and that's
side.
cemented in there, so we gotta pull that out.
Right.
You might need a couple guys for that to lift that corner and have somebody. have it
Brandon
on the
hasn't had
tractor.
time yet.
So,
to help
like,
out
how
with that.
bad do you think, like, if we wait till like the mowing and it comes down like fall, do you think it'll be okay till fall?
The
Corners?
building, it'll be
The building or the
it'll be
pole?
fine. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
And then
I
next
just know we need
year,
to brace it with something.
we need to fix the dock, John.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's something that they can
There's-
pull out
should build-
and,
we
and
should
build a
build.
new one on
we should be able to get
downtime
a loader down there, reach out there.
and pull that out and or lift it and
We probably
redo.
should do it now while the water's warm, don't get the guys down in the water. We got a new guy, be a good way to break him in.
That should probably wait until after season when we lower the water level.
No, if that's okay.
What's that? What are they talking about?
She wants, like,
Replacing the
when
dock.
we lower it,
Oh,
when we lower the,
When
we
you
close it.
lower it down,
Pile of loose poop off site rather than just.
it's,
push it
yeah,
around
it's
someplace.
off-site. It's up, it's up.
it's in the
on
woods, but we're
trail
running
where
we're
they
running
were
out of
Dumping
room.
it before
Well,
and
that's
all
what I'm
the
saying,
ash.
maybe it should be trucked away rather than.
Get somebody to bring a manure spreader.
I had thoughts of just putting it in the dumpster, but there's no way that, well, if it's a full pail, there's no way I could lift it up there to dump it,
Yeah.
let alone the 2
I
women.
will tell you, I did get a comment on the poop. And it's awesome there now. So you're doing a really good job.
The last couple of days, I've
Several.
gotta tell you, we've been getting 2 full cans because the geese are coming in for the, winter migrate. And there's not only 30 on the
There's
pond
100.
anymore, there's almost 100 on the pond.
The swans didn't work neither.
Yeah, the
No,
swans
they
didn't work.
swim right by it.
Somebody told me there's a state park that what they did was, there's a local woman who has, I want to say it was a border collie, and every morning at like 5:30, 6 a.m., she comes with her border collie. The border
Chases
collie
them around.
chases them, and now they have had like almost none. They just got used to every
Wow.
morning that they came in on the beach, they were
We've
going
done
to be chased
that.
off.
I did that with my dog.
We were doing that
I-
at night, in the morning.
Just let them burn
and
down
as
there and
soon
then
as
I
we
call them
walk
right back.
away, they come right back in.
Yeah, they said it takes, every morning, she would go for her walk every morning. It was like 5:36 in the morning. They would chase them off, and I can't remember which park it was, but they were having a really difficult time, and now they said it's down to barely any. Because they
Right.
just got used to if you did it every day, because they're actually pretty smart.
But I did it late at night because I didn't want to be a hypocrite and get caught by somebody else. I'm telling everybody to keep their dog off the
Right,
beach.
right.
And I
That's
turned
a
mine
good
loose on the
one.
geese. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as far as you said, Roy, I think it'd be best to do that dock after the dam,
Water level.
after
goes
that
down.
water level goes down, after we open the dam up and lower the lake.
Okay.
But then, as far as getting the chuck and goose poop off-site, if you keep building a pile someplace, it might be, down the road, it may end up being a mess that we don't want to have.
So what's the, what do we
We're
do with
gonna
it?
have them truck it, but where would they dump it? Where would we dump that? We don't have any other property we could dump it on, right?
I don't think Brandon would like the smell.
Tell that pile down there or something.
What about the old dump over there on, I think is that Sandbank, where we sometimes stage,
I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Yeah, it's on top of the old dump.
Yeah.
yeah,
up over the
up there over to
Yeah.
the left, or what about like the back end of that?
It'd be better, well, I'm thinking is sooner or later, with trails and campsites and whatever, we don't want to have something that we gotta build a fence around to get people
Right,
stumbling into it.
right.
It might be a better idea to really kind of do some more research as to how to get them not to. I mean, there's got to be other parks like the one I said. There's got to be other parks that they've got to have a system. I mean, geese aren't just at
What
Millbrook.
about
they
those
go to all-
cannons that go off
Don't
with gas?
waste your money.
It just makes noise.
No, don't bother. My
No.
son was on a golf course downstate, and
They tried that.
within a couple of weeks, they knew that the cannon was just a noise,
Okay.
and that, you know how they got rid of theirs?
Yeah, they are smart.
Sure, it works pretty good.
No weapons in Millbrook.
Can I ask a question before you move on from Millbrook? On page 2 of the park rules and regulations, it's not as much a question as it is a possible suggestion. On page 2, it says camping and pavilion use.
Page 2?
Page 2,
Yeah,
in bold, it says camping and pavilion use.
yeah.
And then the very last one says violation of any park rule is grounds for eviction. Anyone who is evicted is not entitled to a refund and may be banned from returning to the park for any duration deemed appropriate by park employees. My, I guess, sort of suggestion and or question is, do you think that would be something better that the board comes up with a regulation as to what the time is so that it's equal across the board? I mean, if you're evicted, you're evicted. Are you
So
evicted
you're-
for the
you're-
season? Are you evicted for, depending on what it is you do? Because
So instead
if
of
the park
park
employees are
employees,
busy and they miss a part of,
you
but
want to
part
say
all of
by
another.
the board. Instead of park employees, you want to say suggested by the board.
I think the reprimand
employees
should
could be all
sit
different,
with
right?
the,
If it's not-
whatever happened.
Okay.
Just like you guys did tonight, you discussed and deemed that it should be for the remainder of the season, because that takes, that stress off of the park employees having to make that decision.
Well, like I said, I only was gonna kick the boys out for the day, out of the water. And then more disrespect came, the fingers came, the
Swearing came.
swearing came, and mom's just standing over there with her arms crossed with a smirk on her face, so it's like, nope.
Yeah. All right, I wrote that note to give it to Sarah, so she can update that. Come up with a better verbiage.
If you just added to the, to the board or something.
Just, that's what I wrote, so that the board come up with that. Okay. Next, are you, Connie, anything else you got for us?
No? No. No, other than things are going good up there. I mean, as
Yeah.
far as people are starting to really,
How's our ice? Are we still good with ice?
oh, we're good with ice. The
Okay.
store is doing really well.
Okay.
Everybody loves the convenience of it.
Yeah.
And the painting's done as far as what I'm
Ex-
gonna do right the moment. We
Except
are
the
gonna
floor.
need, I have volunteers coming in September,
Okay.
that we're gonna need paint and brushes and stuff like that, cause I'm gonna have them like scrape and fix some of the picnic tables, especially the ones in the picnic area.
Right, how much paint do you think you need? How many gallons you gonna need?
I'm gonna say at least 3. And whatever we don't use can go back.
Okay.
We won't be able to go back because they mix it. So we just have to keep it for the
We'll have to
following
keep it in
season.
the
Yeah.
basement, because we can't, because it's special, it's a red, right? Red.
The red and the green, there are Millbrook colors when you call it one of them.
Yes.
No?
Is
Yeah.
that GE
I know.
that's coming?
Yes,
You might want to double back with them because
I've already
they,
talked to them twice.
can I finish my sentence?
Sure.
Okay. They have stated that if you had things that you needed, that they actually have a fund where they would supply like the buckets or brushes and the.
They said they did not, that they needed to know what kind of stuff we were gonna provide for them.
Oh, because the last time when they came, they said, yeah, just let us know what you need because my company's got a fund and we can come with brushes and
What's
the only thing they
date?
wouldn't be able to would be the paint.
Do you know the date of that?
I wanna say it was September 15th.
Okay. Do
I'll
they
get
ever-
back with you and
Yeah, just
verify.
check, do they have a rain date?
No, they did not.
Okay. All right, does Curtis have our color on file?
Yes, they do.
Yes.
And is it just the red or are we gonna need green too?
Just the red.
Just the
And
red?
I'm gonna have them fix a spot on the pavilion as well.
Did you get the thing for the budget for the wish list next year?
No, I did not.
I didn't put one in your thing?
I put it in Sarah's.
Oh, you put it in Sarah's? Will you make a note, because if I forget, handicap picnic tables for next year?
We have one. We should get one for the picnic area, or at least 2
Yeah.
for the picnic area
Put that on
itself.
for next year's
We have
wish list.
one
so-
on one of the pavilions. We might wanna put one up on the other pavilion too, but we do
Yeah,
have one.
I think we need to get it, because she took a nice picture, April showed us. Do you remember that picture of the thing? Okay, just so if I forget it. Okay, all right,
One more thing about Millbrook.
Yep.
The post, the big 6x6 in the ground that the sign says Nate Clark Lane, that's up by the road.
where the big sign is on, yeah?
Yep, no, it's next to the big sign. It's right behind it. It says Nate Clark Lane.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, yes, yes,
So Sarah wants that painted.
okay,
I'm gonna get in so much trouble for this. Sarah wants it painted, the post white and
And the lettering
then the lettering black.
or
And
something.
I personally think it should be like the sign, the green post, green background and the black letters. just like, or the white, just like the big sign out front. It's gonna be
That's not like I gotta go look at it.
Yeah.
The Nate, it's not like a town sign, like the
It's
green.
No,
like
it's
an
a
artsy-
wooden-
It's a wooden
artsy
sign,
one.
it's been
It's a
there for
wooden
quite a
sign.
while.
Yeah, it's like a wooden artsy
and it's
sign.
on a 6x6 that
And
goes
it
up.
really needs to be painted.
Okay, all right.
But she
I-
wants
I'll
the
come up
post
and look
white,
at it and
And I
see.
just think that would look really off.
Is it, the treated, I'm assuming it's treated.
Yes.
on the
Yeah, it's been there
poles.
for a
It's
long
been-
time. It's on a 6x6.
Because can't you just buy those things that wrap around it that are aluminum, so you don't have to paint it every year? You know what I mean? Don't they have that to?
I don't think it's been painted in years.
Those plastic, are they expensive? Oh, okay.
I bought sandpaper today and it's just to knock the rough stuff off and
Yeah.
I mean, painting is not an
I'll
issue.
drive up and look at it, because I can't really picture it in my
It's-
head right now, so I
It's the
don't know.
color.
Painting it
Okay.
once in a while, it's easier.
Yeah, it's easier than.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. That, you said that's the Nate Clark Lane, right?
Yep.
Sign? Okay,
But I think it should be painted the Millbrook colors, the green and tan and black and
well, I don't think we want to get that crazy, but 2 colors on it.
Yeah,
well,
green and-
whatever the Millbrook colors
Yeah.
are, she wants the big 6x6 white. And that would just look so off, in my opinion. If you want it white, we'll still do it
Well, if we're
white.
buying red paint, why can't we have the guys paint it with red? So we don't have to buy another gallon
Well,
of
I
paint.
can paint it. I'm gonna paint
We
it.
might
Well-
have the
Just-
green. If we look in the basement, we might have leftover green.
Right,
That we already
right.
have.
That's what I would like to do with
Yeah.
it, but
So we don't
I
Sarah,
have
don't
to
think
get
there
another.
was.
Sarah said white.
No.
Okay. Well, let's see what we got and save some money.
Thank you.
All right, next, committee meetings. Do I need a motion to accept committee meetings? Yes, no? No, okay. All right, planning board. Teresa?
Okay. August 1st, we had a meeting and we finished the A&G Associates simple subdivision. So that's all done. Then I had a phone call from a desperate person and we had a special planning board meeting. Everyone agreed to come, which was very nice of them. On August 8th, Matt and Jen Harrington up on Upper Great Brook Road. We're going to put a manufactured home in and Ian visited them and talked to them because they haven't done the paperwork. So we had a meeting for that and everything went very well. The girl had everything she needed, so. I sent that to Roy and I signed it. And away we went. We are recommending Robert Decker to fill our empty position for the board.
Whose place is he taking, Margaret's?
Margaret.
Okay.
John informed us at the special meeting that I can no longer be the chairman and the secretary. I kiddingly told him I would be glad to stop being chairman, but that didn't work.
So did somebody
Yeah.
step up?
Yes,
Okay.
Kathy Kosh is going to do it from now until the end of the year. However, she is stepping down, so we will have another open position. And then Bob is going to take over as of March when we come back in 2025.
As chairman or secretary?
No, as secretary. Oh, he can be the chairman if he wants. I'd let him have it. Let him have it in a minute. All right.
Should we, wait, did we already do round 2 of your checks?
Did we already do round 2
Yeah.
of my checks? Yeah.
Because we do, no, we
Okay.
do one in June and one in
No,
December.
no.
Should we be altering the amount then for Kathy, because secretary has a separate amount, so maybe divide the secretary in 2 and then give her the extra
Yep.
half.
That'd be good.
Yeah, because she wasn't real thrilled with being doing it. But they're gonna do it together so that Bobby can learn how to do it, because he's in the learning stages. And, you know, he asked a lot of questions that night. You know, why do we do this? Why do we do that? Gotta get it. So it'll all work.
Because Margaret was the secretary,
She
correct?
was for quite a while.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay, thank you. Connie, thank you, I didn't thank you before.
You're welcome. I have one more thing. I know we're.
Oh, you do?
I just thought of
Okay.
it. If we want to get through another year with the dock the way it is, Brian, we just need a couple of boards.
To fix the top part. We're
To
talking
fix-
about the bottom that
Right,
needs to
but-
be,
Think of.
yeah,
There's a couple of
Okay.
boards that are actually rotted.
that need to be replaced now.
Yeah, and we
Okay.
could get through another year until we can come up with whatever way we were gonna,
Just to replace those.
to replace it, yeah.
Are you gonna go get those?
I can,
Okay,
but I need approval.
all right. I need a motion to approve that Conneget's porch to replace the dock. Roy, second.
Second.
John? Okay.
All in favor?
All in favor? Thank you, John. All in favor?
Got you back.
I appreciate it. All in favor, aye. I'm gonna skip back while we're doing that. Are we gonna put the hand railings in? Should I go get the wood for that and do it? Or do you wanna wait till he puts the permanent stuff down?
I think we're just gonna keep putting this stuff in.
Oh, you don't think we need hand railings?
Don't tell me to-
Okay, never mind. I'm going backwards. Let's go forward. Okay, John, highway.
I got nothing.
Do I need to make a motion for this again, or is this all accepted in the committees?
You don't make a motion for committees because that's just open conversation.
Okay.
that they're gonna-
All right. You got nothing?
Nothing, either one.
Okay. Youth, Sarah's not here. I'm gonna beat that one up. Police, April?
Yep.
Ambulance, we have something in the packet at the end. They had an inspection, which I don't know if y'all read it. I took it down. The village already had it, and as you saw, I asked
I
Pete
didn't.
about it.
I didn't put it in your packet, did you? I just gave it to you as a
Oh,
supervisor.
it was in my mailbox, so I just
Oh,
picked
yeah,
it all
no, that
up.
was
Okay.
just for you.
Okay, so they're taking care of it. It was a couple violations on policies that they gotta give to patients and stuff. So they're taking care of that. And I didn't get a monthly report this month from the ambulance. I checked my email when I got here. Okay. I need a motion to approve the financial reports.
So,
I need a second.
Yeah, second.
All in favor?
Right.
Aye. Okay. Any questions? Any discussion on the vouchers? John, you good? You signed them?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
You good? Well, you're good?
Yep.
Okay. Old business. The
We
life.
have to go through.
That's in the thing.
Yeah, we have to do abstract number 43.
Oh, sorry.
Resolution number 43.
I'm so sorry to pay the bills. Gotta pay the bills, sorry. So do we have the totals for
So-
general?
General is 5,741.06.
TOV?
1,492.52.
DA was 0, wasn't it?
Yep.
DB?
4,980.47 cents.
South and Glen was 0, am I right?
0 has a standing credit.
Credit.
We have 2 bills with credits.
FX?
FX, I don't have FX.
2,481,
Oh, yeah.
3,400,
81.99.
okay. Okay. Resolution 43, 2024, authorizing to pay the audited vouchers. Audit was done by John Parks and Roy Stockwell. And there are the amounts. Go ahead, Deb.
Introduced by you.
Yep,
Who's seconding?
I'll second.
John. Stockwell,
yes.
Parks,
Yes.
Reifenberg,
yes.
Wales Ray is absent, Christian.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry about that, Deb.
That's good.
And thank you for the amounts. Now we're going to old business?
Yep.
Any questions on any of the other monthly reports, balance sheets? We are, just on the revolving loan, we're supposed to have a tentative meeting on the 20th of this month to try to get it started. probably won't get up and running application ready until January 1, but we are gonna start it, okay? Old business, the live scan. I need a motion that I can sign the contract. It doesn't ask for a check right now. I'm sure we'll have to send something. So when we make the motion, do we want to include to put the check into the prepays or wait till the following board meeting when we get it? How do you want to work that? Let's wait.
Prepaid.
Oh, you want to put in the prepay?
Well, only because
You want to do it before the end of
you
the
wanna
year.
get it moving.
Okay, okay.
That was suggested.
So do we want to send the check with it or wait till we get the contract
No, I
after
would
we
wait, 'cause
sign
they
it?
might, depending on what they ask, they might ask, look,
Just for a down payment?
part of it was like half down. I read it
I
somewhere.
didn't see that one to say that, but
Yeah.
David said that they will bring all the stuff,
Right.
but then it'll just be a paperweight. They won't go live until they receive
Till we
payment.
get the check.
So we could always cut the
But I'll
check
make-
and hold it.
Yeah, I'll make,
Want
the-
something, they probably want some of it.
after we assign the contract, they'll probably send us something.
You know,
And,
I would expect they would.
When I do the resolution, I'm gonna do the whole amount, one transfer. I'm not gonna do, if it's a down payment. Are you guys okay with that?
The whole
The
total.
20, I'm gonna transfer it right into the police out of reserves, so we don't have to do it twice, two
Okay.
resolutions, okay? So I need a motion for the live scan.
I make a motion.
April, I need a second.
Yep, we got
I was gonna second, okay, John,
Sorry.
all in favor?
Yeah.
Aye.
Aye.
You wanna know? Okay. Okay, new business. We have to accept the resignation of Anthony Lawrence, Police Department.
I'll move it.
Okay, John, second.
I second.
April. He'd been with us, I think he said 14
Long time.
years, wasn't it?
Yeah.
14 years. I told him whenever he wants to come back, he's welcome. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Water meter quotes.
Oh, there's a new quote on the table. I didn't take one. I left everybody that new one that you gave me.
I've only got two so far. So,
Here's the third one. Third.
okay.
Thank you.
Me and Roy have talked about this, and we've talked about it with Matt. We've sat with the people. We got two quotes here. One's 43,845, one's 44,269, and one is 15,071. And I think that was just for 5 meters, right? He's given us the individual prices. Well, it was 8 for the, the problem is we don't have all the same size meters.
Of course we are.
Like we have some with, what are they, like the pipe size? Is that what's different, Roy?
Yeah, pretty much.
So he's given us the individual prices on these, 120 of the most that we have. And then the 3, and that's the new meters. And then this is for, which ones were these? Were these the Hershey, did he say? See, I don't understand. There's Ferguson and EJP.
Right.
Ferguson has Hersey meters,
Hershey's
and they are radio read. I am pretty sure both of the 40,000 range
are the
are
radio
for
read.
radio read, and Ferguson has the 15,000,
And
and
that's for manual
I think
read.
it's manual read.
But I don't know if he included the push pads, because I don't see them. On the manual read, you go up and you push something. So, and I don't see them on his quote, so I'm gonna have to ask him for that again. But then,
You do, it's not just a digital.
I thought he said we had to go up and push something. Didn't he call it a push pad, or was that on these? I can't remember, because
I think that was the.
they're so confusing.
Probably a radio read would have to have a push button.
Would be the push button. The only thing I gotta tell you,
That's when it would read it.
I really was sold on EJP, but then I remember Ferguson said to me, the battery shuts off on these, remember?
Yeah.
And that's what the problem is. The batteries are dying. They have a 10-year lifespan on these antennas.
And of
And,
course, when you need new batteries, they no longer make the type to fit the meters
and you
have,
need
so
a new
now you need
head.
all
So
new
you gotta put
meters
a
again.
whole new head on. And that's the problem we're having with our 10-year-old meters. They didn't even last 10 years, I should say.
So then,
So I apologize that I got a whole new set on
my
everybody.
whole opinion was that we have just plain manual meters with a readout. And go around once a year in the summer, because it's nice weather, and read them, and at that billing, catch them up. You know, with your flat rate for three billings and one billing.
Will be high.
catch up. If you went over,
Fourth billing.
you know, now the good thing really for the customer is you got all year to average that out. You know, so if you wash your car out in the spring, you don't wash it all the rest of the year,
Right.
you'll probably break even.
Yeah.
We have just less than 50% of our users that actually even go over. So more than 50% of them would just be flat rate all year anyway.
Right.
Even with the read, their fourth bill would be the same as their other three because they don't go over the minimum.
What it would do, though, for people to pay attention, it would give us eyes on site, noticing if there's a water leak. Because it's like, hey, that's dripping, that's gonna cost me sooner or later.
Sure.
And
If they don't think so, they will the next time. it comes.
I will tell you, when Matt worked for the village, because I have that apartment house in town, and he called me, he goes, Wendy, you either got a toilet or something's leaking in your apartment, because your usage is way over this month compared to other months. And we did, we had a toilet that kept running. And I mean, he was alert to that, and he called me, and you know, that's when he worked, and that's what they did in the village. They always called the people so they could check something if they had a leak or something that they may not know. And so that's the good thing about meters. I wanted to get no meters and just do a flat rate. But Roy's, you know, he's got a good point. There's people that do conserve water and there's people that waste water. And is it fair? Because the way he was talking, and it seems like the towns that have been doing flat rate over at county are all going to meters now. We've had meters. We want to go back to flat rate.
Well,
So it's crazy. And they think we're crazy for wanting to go back and not do this radio move, but it's not working for us. We're too small of an area.
It's been a pain in the neck from day one. It
It's a
never,
nightmare
I don't think it ever worked perfect
since it got put in.
since we had it.
There were at least 5 every read that it wasn't reading or, you know.
And the cost of the equipment and trying to get it fixed, and the guy that comes from who I don't know, he's courting us and we courted him every 2 years, but we get together every so often and tell him he makes big promises, and we haven't seen him since, just like all the other times he came. So, you know,
And I will tell you, the guy that's supposed to be replacing the meters that were under warranty, they were supposed to be here June. That was the latest they'd be here. Matt's reached out to him. I've reached out to him. He said he'd email me that Monday, and that was before July 4th weekend. It was the end of June. Haven't heard a word, and Matt has called him a number of times, and he has not called us back. I would say we're not getting nothing.
I would say if we haven't reached the date yet, we should be pretty close to the point where they can say, oh, they're too old. we can't back
That's
them up.
what they're doing. They don't want to, they want them to be not under warranty. But what happened is the company we bought them from got bought out by another company. They're trying to, but like if it was 10 meters, I would say, they would say it was okay. But we don't have 10 meters. We have 120 meters or 115 meters that are not working.
All right, so. when you
So-
go manual,
Matt is okay with going manual. So,
or actually, that sounds,
Well, it seemed, like I say, I talked to Matt and, you know, because I don't even, like, not be a reader. I said, you know, what kind of job are we talking about here? And he said, you know, just walk through, especially if you do it once a year,
yeah.
walk through, get the readings. He said it's pretty basic.
to me, if you're walking through, you might find other issues too.
Yeah.
You know, just being aware of
Twice a
it.
year.
So I want to call him and, but the reason I like the Ferguson guy, after I thought about it, I mean, I drank the Kool-Aid, I was all about this one, then after I did what Roy did, and adjusted it a little while and thought about it.
More good.
This guy was he worked for the USDA. He's been a water operator. Now he works for this company. This guy knows it all around. And when I remember him distinctly saying that battery would shut off on those radios if we went with those. But I don't think we need batteries on this. It's just hardwired.
This is
So
just-
I gotta call him back to make sure there's no other extra cost with it. And, but I prefer, we are gonna use the ARPA funds to pay for it. So it's not coming out of the South New Orleans water people. They don't have to have another debt retirement. So we're using grant money to pay for it.
Wow, I had someone real nervous when I told them we were gonna be looking into meters. They're like, oh, great, a third debt retirement.
No, they can't afford it. People in Southern Berlin can't afford another debt retirement. But so. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. And then we're gonna need new pipes. They haven't got the last pipes paid for. It's nuts. So do we want to make a motion? How do we want to do this? Or we want to wait till we talk to them one more time? What do you want to do?
Well, by what it sounds like, I'd say I'd support doing this.
Okay.
We probably ought to talk to them one more time to make sure we don't end up, like we have a couple things like, is that what we did?
Right.
We're good, no. Something goes wrong, just say no.
Okay.
And we're not gonna change them overnight anyway, so.
Yeah, no, this is going to be a process.
Can I ask just a question
Sure.
about that? With the water system, when they do this new bridge, is that gonna affect the pipe that goes under the river for the hydrant system?
They know it's there. They've done all the inspections.
We've had to give them all the maps and answer all the questions for them
Right.
on where
Yeah.
our water pipes
And we
were.
get notified all the time from them.
Cause that's gonna be your main feed to
They're
everything in town.
reliable over that pipe, they mess with it.
Yeah.
Cause I don't know how close it runs to the
They
bridge
don't
when they
either,
get
but
rid
yeah,
of
they
that.
don't either.
When they get that bridge out of there, because they're digging, they have to take out the endangered clams now, so.
Is that why it's
I thought they were mussels.
Is that what's
Mussels,
holding
clams,
it?
There,
whatever it
yeah,
is.
same thing, yeah.
I'm
Um,
wondering if I can have some of those.
But that's all I wonder, because that's gonna interrupt anything that comes from the water system
Yes.
down on. You'll have to rely, if we have a fire, you're gonna have to rely on the
I didn't see
pumps
that.
themselves.
So,
I'll get the ones that price.
Okay. And, I would say that's what they do. They need to know, they know, but we're talking,
That's why they asked for the plan.
yeah, the thing. So, can I get a motion to accept Ferguson for the manual reads?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Roy, second. Second. April, all in favor?
All right.
And I will give you results on it. While we're talking about this, I forgot to mention in water, the parts came in for the hydrants. I don't know if we got the bill yet, but he's gonna have to call the, Kevin, you may not be able to help me on this. There's something where by the hydrants or something where the mains are coming in, they have to exercise the valves and
The valve
stuff.
shut the
The
hydrant.
valve shut off.
Okay, yeah, but we have to have the village come in because they have the equipment to blow all the debris and stuff out.
Yeah, the line-
Okay, so you know what I'm
the
talking
line
about.
to the hand will be
So he's
stolen.
gonna try to get that set up with the village. I don't know how much that's gonna cost us. But Matt's cause it's gotta be done. So, and he started you saw on the vouchers, he started the hydrant that was broken. He got the parts and all that stuff. Okay.
Do we know which hydrant was broken? 'Cause
I don't,
I don't know of a hydrant being broken, so if I hook into it,
well, I don't know if it was
I know.
it was
It's a slow
something,
leak.
it had a leak,
okay.
had a leak in it.
Yeah, I think there's one of them that part of it down in something's cracked, the housing of it's cracked.
Probably the housing for the shut off.
Yeah,
So he's been working on that, so, all right.
You
We're
did
getting,
make a comment though, Kevin, about wanting to find a way to set up a process for you guys to communicate when you do use a hydrant, so that he
He's
knows.
contacted me, and every time I use a hydrant, I contact him.
Tech man,
Good,
yeah.
okay, so you guys got that in place.
Give
I
him
know
the
that
rough
was
est-
something,
Give him the rough estimate of what
Yeah, I
he
thought we
used
took
out
care
of
of
it.
that a while ago,
Yeah.
didn't we? Yeah, okay. All right, well, now we got an estimate for the front counter, alteration quote from, Brian Banks.
I wondered what that was.
That was she's gotta climb over the counter, he's just gonna make a flip counter.
And take that lower level one and put it on a hinge.
Oh,
So it
just so
can
she
flip
can
up and
flip it
down.
up to lock the door. All right, so I need a motion to accept this
So moved.
quote. It's John. Second. Need a second? Second. April. All in favor? Aye. Any discussion anymore on it? Okay. Cyclops we already did. Carpet protectors. Debbie, we haven't had our carpets cleaned since 2017. So we've got a estimate from Carpet Protectors for 517 to do the complete job, clean the carpets, deodorize and disinfect. Can I get a motion so we can get that done? Debbie, when are you looking to do this? Fall or right away or?
I was gonna look at his schedule and see what he
Okay.
had going on, because we've got to plan it in between. I'm thinking the fifth week of any month, a month that has 5 Wednesdays, because the courtroom doesn't have court.
Oh, okay,
And then I'll just have to get with PD to make sure someone's there. We can get that one unlocked.
okay.
And then upstairs shouldn't bother anybody, but if I kind of try to plan it, so I didn't have a date yet.
Okay. All right, so I need a motion. Roy, second.
Second.
I know. All in favor? Aye.
Thanks, James.
Oh, yeah, sorry. One abstain. Debbie, you heard that, right?
I knew it was coming too.
Okay, we found out some things on the last public hearing in local law number 3 that we were gonna change the term of the office to from the 2-year to a 4-year for the town supervisor. We can't do it in a election year or annual year, is that
It
what?
has to be done in a
Biannual
biannual
election.
year by resolution, not local law.
So we have to rescind that we did the local law and everything because we didn't know that and we found that out by Associations Town, thanks to Debbie. So that is getting rescinded. It will not be on the petition this year for the supervisor. And just a little information, they tried to do this in 1996.
Yeah, that popped up. We
And-
found it when we were going
And
through the local
it's
law books.
200 and some people voted yes,
460 some
voted no, and 300 and some didn't vote at all for
Left
it,
it blank.
because it was blank, because there was like 1,000 some people that voted. So that was, so maybe we want to reconsider it altogether. Now I need a motion.
A motion to rescind that local law?
You want to do a motion?
Yeah, because you guys
Okay.
passed a local law. so I'm
Okay,
thinking
so
we
I need a
should-
motion to rescind it. I'll make the motion.
1 second.
John? All in favor? Aye. Okay. We need to appoint Robert Decker to the planning board for the continued of her, or is it a new?
No,
No, it'll be-
her term was done.
Her term was done,
So
so
it'll be a 5-year then. Was she
Yeah.
supposed to be this year her first year? Because you've been
Yes.
without.
This week,
No, she was done
she was done,
last December.
right, December.
September of 23, she was done, so it would be 24, 25, 26, 27, 28 of 28. So 9/30 of 28 will be the end of his term.
Move it.
okay, John, second. April, all in favor? Aye. Okay. I am so sorry, our person that came in late, I was gonna ask you if you had any questions, Vicky? Hit us.
I don't even know where to start. Just to introduce myself, I'm a South LeBron resident, but I live on the Butternut side. So the reason that I'm here is because I now have a business office in the old South LeBron school. And I don't know anything about business, let alone the town regulations. And my goal is actually to kind of like revive that school, like the community efforts. I know there's some guy that owns it and he lives in New Jersey. He cares, but I'm gonna say he doesn't care as long as the money's coming in. But my goal is to actually make the whole thing kind of a community project. Because what I do is more a service to humanity than anything else. So making like trails and a dog park and somebody wanted a driving range. There's all these things, but it would have to be under like a community umbrella over the whole thing.
Okay, and this is a business that you're trying to,
Well, I already have my little office in there. It's not getting much traffic because it's just getting started. I don't even have my sign up yet.
okay,
And I don't even know. Somebody said you have to have a permit to have a permanent sign. I don't know anything about that stuff. So I'm gonna put my little sign on roller wheels and tell the dude to,
The planning board, you
Come
come
to
to
the
the planning
planning
board, you get the sign.
Yeah,
Never
you
sign
can
put up.
get your form beforehand and fill it out.
yeah, I'll need guidance on all that stuff. 'cause I have
okay,
no
so
idea.
that is usually Thursday of,
It's the first Thursday of the month. It'll be September 5th. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yep, September
September
5th.
5th, right here at 6 o'clock. And give me your name and your contact number so that I can get a hold of you if we don't have a meeting or something. You said your name is Vicky what?
Cates with a C, C-A-T as in Tom, E-S,
Say that again slow,
C-A-T-E-S,
okay?
607-859-2717.
And you're just interested in permits for a sign.
I know they have a real estate agent in charge of all that stuff. They're working on stuff. They haven't told me what they're working on. And I'm interested in.
Because is it listed? Are you buying the building?
No.
No,
No,
you're just.
I'm a resident and I'm gonna call myself a very interested party in what actually goes in the school. I don't want just a bunch of crap because we had pharmacists and
Pace is still in there, right?
yes, Pace is still in there. God knows what they do, but
They pay the bills, honey, that's
Life-
what's got their
life
biggest
sciences,
revenue.
I know that's it's all about money. I know that. But I'm interested more of community services. Like that whole community needs stuff, playgrounds, places to go, everything. That once the school went away, that whole town just lost its identity. And I know we got farmhouse fines and all that other stuff. And Lizzie's is very interested in the community. I actually wanted to kind of work closely with Lizzie's. They're right across the river.
The campground.
Right.
Is this guy, is he okay with like putting a park in there? And
I don't know. I'm still trying to work with the real estate agent. He's
got a sign up there right now. He's got the place for.
well, yeah, no, I know the real estate agent. She lives around the corner from me on the other side. I've spoken with them. They're still looking for ideas and just people to come in, and he's not rehabbing the place. He's expecting people coming in to rehab the place. It's just such a slow process because it's an old building. It's got a lot of issues, needs a lot of work, a lot of TLC.
Okay.
But he lives in New Jersey. So to me, it's like everybody wants to do something. Well, if nobody takes the lead on it, then nothing's going to get done. So I took it upon myself and I'll work with the real estate agent and anybody in town. I did a meet the neighbors night one night. You know, I'd love to have a little community coffee thing. Just, hey, come on in, have coffee in the morning, every morning. There's
You
somebody
did a
there.
meet the neighbors night? You did, or you would like to?
No, I did.
What kind of response did you get?
I
I
never
had
heard anything.
20 people there.
I didn't hear anything about it. Where did you?
Just
You have it at the school, you have it at
Facebook.
school?
Yes, I didn't see it either. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm bad at this stuff. I
So
did
you
30 years in
have
the
things
Coast Guard.
like
This
that?
is all new to me.
We have a community board here
Okay.
that we could put things like that on. People come in and when they're either standing in line waiting, you know, they'll read stuff or sometimes they just go over and read stuff. So I don't have any problem putting things like that.
Yeah, see, I don't think about that because it's South New Berlin, this is New Berlin, so I don't even think about that stuff. It just recently came to my attention.
Within the town of New
Yeah.
Berlin.
Right, no, I understand
South
that.
New Berlin, Amarillo, and Holmesville are all part of the town of New Berlin. And the board as it sits currently tries to be very active in including South New Berlin. It's just, some of the things are just difficult, you know, with, when you see here, it's the village and they've got their community events, sidewalks and close proximity.
Right.
Where the town as a whole doesn't have that, just the hamlet of South New Berlin. So it sometimes can get lost in translation,
I
but
totally understand because the same thing's happening in Butternuts. In the
Right,
village,
but-
the Gilbertsville, then you have the town, we're like,
Yeah,
well, what about us? We're like, you know, chop liver out here.
I would reach out to the fire department too.
I was
Because
gonna suggest.
I mean, I'm
that
on the
too.
fire department, but
I
we
got
do a lot of community outreaches, and if that's something you're interested in, absolutely.
So I was thinking like a little community day and do
We
it
have
on the
a
same day
Sunday-
the horseshoe, people do their
Right.
thing.
We have a Sunday fun day coming up, event in September.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, having more than one location would be really neat too, so don't be afraid to reach out to the fire department. Reach out here, bring a flyer, and we'll put it up just to,
Okay.
you know.
And
It's
call
good
the
to have people.
churches to put
I was
on the
gonna say, there's
announcements.
an Episcopal Church, St.
There's
Matthew's,
the
and
South
First
Monroe Baptist
Church.
in Holmesville that you could put, like, call the direct.
Definitely be reaching out for more of the community support, because I don't say I don't do that,
That'll count.
but.
Yeah.
Takes time.
That's why you use flyers, just use flyers to begin with, and then you start to,
Oh,
you
I work
know,
with
get
some
a
of the
little more
neighbors, have
comfortable.
some really good ideas, and just gonna work with them, get the real estate agent, you know, moving.
Yeah, come up with ideas for him.
Right, I'm sorry I forgot
No
to
problem.
get you in, but it probably worked out better at the end. Okay, we need to go, I gotta call executive session
You do?
Yeah.
Okay,
on the front office.
okay.
Remember? So I'll make a motion, we're going to executive, and with a second. April, all in favor?
Hi.
Okay,
What is the reason you're going into executive?
for the, you said let's talk about it after.
Oh, I didn't realize you were going in. on
Well,
that right
you
away.
said we shouldn't talk about it in public because it's about an employee.
It didn't have to be discussed immediately, but if you want to, it'd be a quick conversation. That
Well, I think we gotta address it before we
Right.
do anything. Okay, thank you all. Appreciate it. Dave, John's got your number? If we find any information out?
I'll let
Okay.
you know. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming down. You too, Dave. Thank you.
I would need somebody to give me an idea. It's really hard.
Yeah.
I said to them, I feel like-
Where's
Yeah,
the one
if you
for?
would, I would want two of them. I want a community one and then I want a town board one, which is just legal. Yes, so that would be, yeah, that would be nice.
There, yeah.
Are we staying in here or are we going upstairs? Are you guys leaving or are you guys staying?
Yeah, I think we're leaving.
Okay, so then we can stay right here.
All right, thanks, Teresa.
I just want to see one second, sorry. I think.
I asked that question before, I don't know the answer. Service contracts with the heat system,
They don't respond.
they don't want.
I've asked 4 times and they say yes, but the woman at the front desk, the secretary, always tells me she'll have the field guy or the service guy call me. And then I don't get anything. So then I asked again, she goes, oh, he didn't get a hold of you? I was like, no, I will get him in. I think 4 times I have tried over the last 2 years to get them to get us a service contract. But I think we're at a point, to be honest with you, that to even give them that money for a service contract, I don't know if we really want it, because we had Reese Marshall come out how many times? And that's who we're looking to get the contract with.
Yep.
And the same thing over and over and over again. Gary Lawrence came and it turned out there was some baffle thing, they pushed in too far, and it was, the airflow wasn't right, and so it was making it to where it would fill up and soot and then shut back down again. So do we want to do a service contract with somebody who, after 6, was it only 6, John, or are we talking more like maybe 8, 10 calls to Reese Marshall, still didn't fix it? So do we want to just pay Gary Lawrence by the trip? Do we want to ask him to set up to come here a certain month every year?
He just does it, you know, service.
Is he with Marshall, or he's somebody?
He's heat seeker and he's the one who installed it.
What I'm thinking is, if we get them serviced in the fall, like when I bought that place over there, that was, Marshall was always their supplier, so I go see Marshall.
Sure.
And we don't want to wear customers. Like, we don't want customers. So I went to Blue Ox and they asked about one of the service contracts and he said yes. I was there a couple times when the guy did it. I mean, he checked everything, he's cleaned it, serviced it, so that you shouldn't have any trouble running through the winter anyway.
Right.
You can,
You can.
but having it serviced in the fall is, and I think for our systems, if we had them at least serviced in the fall, the only thing a service contract does better than that for you, supposedly. Because all the houses are taken care of.
Oh, like you scared me, today you just walk in and stand there,
I
don't say
called them and I
anything?
said, I
Like
need
you
the
did
service
with me?
man to-
Everybody's here.
Oh,
They
You
might
should have
see it
said-
here
you should
next
have
week
said
when we go
something.
there. I said, we got, this customer has a service plan. Oh, well, we'll deal with it this afternoon.
we're in an executive session, so you can't be in here right now. Sorry,
You
sorry,
put a sign up.
sorry, well, we were gonna go
There
upstairs.
is, there is no.
No, there's nothing to do.
I thought you were done.
I guess I could try again.
Because they were come,
Exactly.
well, otherwise they just
They're not gonna
brush
go.
it off.
NMS on?
But
But at least we ought to have a service
at
plan.
least, I think Gary would come, something happened even here.
No,
Just check all the units and make sure.
if we make a decision, we gotta find
Here,
out.
down